This is episode 2. We will start with chapter 1 today. This chapter is called The Despondency of Arjun or Arjun Vishad Yog. The first verse of this is very interesting and has a lot of meaning to it. In the Gita, verses always start with who is saying. If Dhritarashtra says, then it is Dhritarashtra Uvach. If Sanjay says, then it is Sanjay Uvach. If Arjun says, then it is Arjun Uvach. But when Lord Krishna speaks, then it is always written as Shri Bhagwan Uvach. This is why I always say that the Lord is saying, because in the Gita it is never written as Krishna Uvach. The first verse is Dhritarashtra Uvach, Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samveta Yuyutsava Mamkah Pandavaschaiv Kim Akurvat Sanjaya. Here, Dhritarashtra is speaking to Sanjay. But why is he talking to Sanjay? Because Sanjay was blessed with distant vision and could see what was happening in the Mahabharata war from a distance. Dhritarashtra, who was the blind king, was in his palace in Hastinapur, some distance away from the battle zone. Since Sanjay had distant vision and could see the war from afar, he was able to narrate what's happening in Kurukshetra war live to Dhritarashtra. Hence, Dhritarashtra is asking Sanjay in the first verse, and Dhritarashtra says, in the righteous battlefield of Kurukshetra, where everyone has gathered to fight, mine and the Pandavas' army, O Sanjay, what did they do? Now, there has been a lot of commentary on this verse, and it is an important verse in the Gita. Some commentary says that this verse shows that Dhritarashtra is actually nervous and he knows his sons are on the wrong side. Because in this verse he's saying Kurukshetra is a righteous battlefield or Dharma Kshetra, and he asks what is happening there. He is not only asking about Kurukshetra, but he is describing it as Dharma Kshetra or righteous battlefield. And he is not inquiring about Duryodhana or the Kauravas. He is asking what happened to my warriors and the Pandavas. Mamkah reflects his army and his son. Now there is a battle of dharma or righteousness, and there is a chance that his son or his sons are not on the right side. In the interpretation of some people, the first verse itself showcases that Dhritarashtra is nervous and he's worried that this is a fight between right and wrong, and maybe he feels that Kauravas are not on the right side. There's another interpretation which I find very interesting, and that is written by Paramhans Yoganand in his book God Talks to Arjuna. Paramhans Yoganand says this interpretation was given to him by his guru. In fact, his guru told him that this verse is Gita's Kunji, or the key to the Gita, and the reason even for God to speak about the Gita or recite the Gita. His interpretation is, as Dhritarashtra says, Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samveta Yuvatsava Mamkah Pandavaschaiv Kim Akurvat Sanjay. Oh Sanjay, what did they do? Dhritarashtra is asking in the past tense. If Dhritarashtra is seated along with Sanjay and they are watching the battlefield live, then Dhritarashtra should be asking what is happening now or currently. He should not have used the word Akurvat, which is past tense and means what did they do? Why would he ask questions from the past tense? Since the battle is happening at the moment. And this is one of the secrets to note carefully. I find this version very appealing. This version actually shows why God recited the Gita. To grasp this interpretation, it is important to understand the meaning of a few words. In Kurukshetra, the word Kuru is from Kriya, which means action. Kurukshetra represents the field of action. That is you, that is every human being, that is mind and body of every human who is engaged in action throughout his or her lifetime. So in Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre, the reference is to the righteous battlefield of action, which is each one of us, where there is a battle going on between right and wrong every day, all the time. So who are the Pandavas? Pandu or Pandar, that word reflects the pale white color, which metaphorically means the truth, right side, pure, intellect, knowledge, yoga. Pandava is a reflection of Pandar. So on the one side of the righteous battlefield, Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre, is yoga, knowledge and rational discrimination, the right side. And the other one is blind Dhritti, which is related to blind Dhritarashtra. Dhritti in Sanskrit means holding something very tight, tightly controlling, and that reflects your senses. And blind Dhritarashtra means blind senses or unbridled senses. Now, these sense organs are very powerful, and if the mind has no control, then they will take you in the wrong direction and negative sides. So, the first verse shows that there is a righteous battle going on in everybody's mind and body every day between the right side and the wrong side. One side wants you to go to negative ways, and there is the other one that wants you to go to the positive ways. Now, Sanjay here reflects impartial introspection. Sanjay impartially reflects every day on what happened in today's war between the good and bad sides, between the sides of knowledge and yoga versus the blind senses, and who won. And this is every day's war. In some ways, when the Gita was compiled by sage Vyas, he wanted to convey why God recited the Gita and provided the clue in the first verse. As per Paramhans Yoganand, God sang the Gita to show how everyday life is meant to be lived. And the war effectively is a context to simplify the story. But actually, it is the everyday story of the mind and body where good and bad forces are competing, and how each one of us are using our knowledge and rational discrimination to make the good side win, and how we can control bad senses. We can control blind senses or unbridled senses. And that's the interpretation of this verse. I find this extremely interesting, and I hope you like the interpretation. This actually gives me more reasons to talk about the Gita, not in a religious sense, but how to live everyday life according to it. Thank you.